I'm Matt Fox, and this is Matt Fox on the Tube, coming to you live from Rostock, Germany. And this is another edition of Trump at War. And we have officially mission creep. Now, we all know that Trump started this war for the reason that he claimed that Iran was going to have a nuclear bomb in 2 weeks had they not attacked. So Israel attacked, Trump jumped in, and the rest is history, right? So since that time, the Israelis and the Americans have degraded the military of Iran to some extent and have killed a lot of children that were at school. And when they initially attacked and killed the Ayatollah, there was great joy amongst the people that were living overseas from Iran. They were happy about that. They were overjoyed. People in Iran also, many of them overjoyed. But the situation is that the IRGC has not been eliminated. Much like the situation in Gaza with the Palestinians, although it was Hamas that was responsible for the attack on the Israelis, where they killed, upwards of 1,200 citizens and took prisoners and everything. That situation was to an extreme, destroying all infrastructure, everything in the Gaza area, steadily telling Gazans to go to this area, go to this area, go to this area, and then, continue to bomb the hell out of the nations or the Gaza. And, now it's just a big pile of rubble. And these people, these innocent Palestinians that just want to live their lives and raise their kids and educate their kids and whatever. I mean, not everyone can be a terrorist, I mean, especially in a situation where you're an Arabic speaking nation, they have hard thoughts about like people who are LGBTQ or that aren't necessarily so willing to get involved in any kind of conflict and are more passive or more religious and, think that the Quran doesn't tell them to do the things that Hamas wants them to do. So that whole conflict there, if the situation does not get any better in Iran soon, it's going to be a problem. So let's discuss. Okay, once again, I'm Matt Fox. I wear the glasses because I have allergy eyes. Got allergies at the age of 56, and I don't know why, but now I'm 62, and yeah, they bug me. My eyes look really terrible now. They used to look okay, but now they look terrible. So let's get into today's discussion. Thanks y'all for watching, and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything, and give me a like. Appreciate it. So let's discuss. So it's clear to Donald Trump that the situation in the U.S. is getting out of control. Although he tries to test the limits of his power by sending cases through the shadow docket to the Supreme Court, he attempted to get the 14th Amendment overturned through an executive order. They weren't trying to hear it. SCOTUS stood up because that's the law. That's the law. That's what they learned in school, is to follow the law. And so when this guy Sauer went over there and was discussing this case and making his statements and everything with Trump sitting by his side, right? And that's like that was a first. That was first. No president has ever done no shit like that. That was a clear intimidation move. Clear intimidation move. And it didn't work. And he knew it wasn't working because he ended up walking out. He ended up walking out in the middle of the whole thing, and he was pissed. And Trump is very thin-skinned. I don't know if you've seen his hand or his neck, his ankles. He's very thin-skinned, right? And he lets things get to him. And when he saw that this argument for doing away with the 14th Amendment or amending the amendment or allowing him to bend the amendment, it didn't work. So he felt frustrated and left like a little baby. So then let's discuss the No Kings rally. Once again, the people of America stood up, and not just the people in America, but people all around the world in cities around the world stood up on No King's Day and made their voices heard. Now, check this out. Normally, when there's a protest, it's because of a certain policy or a certain issue or something like that. That's normally why people protest. But see, we have protests that are going on because we got one dude, the president, who wants to do everything that he wants to do without anybody questioning what he does. If he's doing some sort of corrupt shit, he doesn't want you to ask him about what he's doing or why he's doing it. The same situation in regards to the White House East Wing. He just went and did that shit. He didn't ask Americans. He didn't ask the Congress. And he doesn't think that there's 3 branches of government. Obviously, he failed government class in high school. So, executive branch, judicial branch, legislative branch. But under the Trump administration, he believes that he controls every single one, and they are beholden to what he wants. So if they don't do what he wants, such as charging all of his enemies or supposed enemies, such as James Comey, Letitia James, Adam Schiff, anybody who he disagrees or that disagree with him, well, they're going to get hit with a lawsuit or they're going to try to get locked up. And see, the thing with the Trump administration is that Trump does not care about the restraints that are there in our government to keep him from doing the things that he's doing. But he does them anyway. He uses agencies to check the backgrounds of people to see how they've done this or that with their money, how they've invested maybe had insider information. They're trying to accuse individuals that disagree with Trump of crimes that, somebody would just have to go and dig up. And hey, Bernard, what's going on, man? Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, doesn't cost anything. So this is Trump's whole mindset. He doesn't give a shit about the law. Trump thinks he can do what he wants to do, and because America is the greatest nation on the world, or I don't know for how much longer, because it's looking pretty bad. I won't get into that further. That if he can do what he wants to do, then all the opposition, there won't be no opposition, and he can do what he wants to do. So, and just like tearing down the East Wing of the White House, he didn't say nothing to nobody. He just ordered those construction trucks to come over there and those things to tear down the East Wing, and just tore it down. Once the American public got wind of it, the fucking East Wing was already gone. So, and now we have a construction site over there on the side of the White House. It's going to sit there for a while because the courts have already said, we don't know how you did that, but it wasn't supposed to be done. So, once again, it is a quagmire. Much like the Iran situation, we have total mission creep here. Mission creep. That's when the goalposts keep on changing. And Donald Trump didn't know from the beginning what he was starting. He went over there and got involved with Bibi Netanyahu, throwing bombs on Iran. And now the Iranians told him, you know what? They're clowning him. They're clowning him. They're making AI videos and putting him out there that he's a member of the Epstein class. He's just trying to distract. And they're right. That's what he's doing. Now, the Iranian government that was there before was not good. And the Iranian government that possibly is coming in is not going to be any good, because the IRGC is still there. And those are the dudes that you have to get rid of. Much like in Gaza, they had to get rid of the Hamas and not the Palestinian people. I mean, why kill all the women and children? Do you think they were just going to all grow up in 5 minutes and attack Israel? No. Did you forget during the Carter administration? No, I did not forget that. And that situation was cleared up a long time ago. And the Iranians, the Americans, had been talking for some time. Thank you for your comment, Eric. But still, that situation was from long ago. It doesn't make any sense to go back and blame every administration for the problems that the Trump administration has the American public in right now. You're paying over $4 a barrel, $4 a gallon right now in America for gas, and it's fixing to go up even more. So if you want to argue about some stuff that the Carter administration did, or the Ford administration did, or the Reagan administration did, or the Bush administration, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's going on now. And we have mission creep. There are reports that Pete Hegseth is covering up additional casualties from the war. He's smudging the numbers, and people are pissed. And therefore, one of the main generals over there involved in this conflict has been forced out by Hegseth for his disagreement with Hegseth on particular issues, and therefore they're throwing him out. So, and I'm going to say something else, and I really think this is kind of important. I'm to all of my viewers who may be African American. Hello to you. Hello to everybody, and thanks for watching. Subscribe, doesn't cost anything. Give me a thumbs up. So, to my African American friends, I saw a video the other day. Hegseth coming out of the plane. There's yeah, thank you, Matthew. Matthew's my name too. Yeah, Matthew says there's 200 plus casualties. Yeah, we're looking at more soon. But Hegseth exited a plane the other day, came down, and there was this general there by the plane. He shook his hand. He was Caucasian, right? And then the general pointed him to the next guy, who was probably a colonel or whatever, and it was a black guy. And so point made, when he came down the stairs, he saluted that white general. And then when that white general gave him over to the next guy, Hegseth shook his hands. And then when he got to the next guy, Caucasian, salute, next guy, salute, white guy, salute, next guy, white guy. Hey, but the black guy, he did not salute. Yeah, he shook his hand, but he did not salute. And that is a level of disrespect that I just cannot fathom. This piece of, it really pisses me off. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of friends in the military, and it's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. And to hear these situations where Hegseth is actually like praying for in front of the generals and spouting passages from the Bible and stuff, and totally twisting that to try to use that to pray for their bombs, that the bombs fall in the right places and stuff. You know, this is some really extreme religious stuff. And in America, we have freedom of religion. Yeah. And anybody who might be sitting there, it might be, I don't know, Muslim or whatever, any kind of other religion other than what he wants to try to spout. I mean, that hits kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? So for me, that's also something that's totally illegal. All right, so I don't know if you guys know that there's been some problems with the DHS. Kristi Noem's been put aside, put out to pasture somewhere in the Shield of Americas. And her husband, he was kind of doing some stuff on the side, chatting up fetish models, stuffing big balloons in his shirts and stuff, and making his ass wearing tight, I don't know, hot pants. So that's one thing, right? But then Bondi is also out. Bondi has now been set out to pasture as well. She's going to go into the private sector. And I can tell you that one by one, as these people are leaving the administration, Bongino, Bondi, Noem, they all know Trump's secrets. They all know Trump is guilty as shit in regards to the Epstein files. They all know. So he's going to either have to have them killed, or he's going to have to figure out a way to keep them quiet. Now, every single person that goes into this administration, I'm almost 100% certain they have signed something with Trump that they will not say anything. No matter what happens, they will not say anything. So we're going to see how long that's going to go. But eventually, it's going to all come out. It's all going to come out. So, but the fact is that Trump in the DHS put Mark Wayne Mullen, a senator from Oklahoma, I think, and this guy has proven himself to be a total imbecile. He does not know how to speak. He's a former MMA fighter, an ex-plumber, and now he's head of the DHS. Yeah. So this is the deal. This guy will not last in this job. I'm telling you, he will not last. He's got no control. He almost started a fight in the middle of the Senate with a witness. And this guy is not going to last long. I'm just calling it right now. So for Trump, it might be time to cut and run. Allies, he told the allies or people who do business with Dubai and in that area for gas and oil or whatever, that, hey, it's over there, go get it yourselves. That's what he's telling the world right now. This dude went over there with Israel, caused all this bullshit to go down, and now he's telling them, hey, if you want that shit, just go get it yourself. Prices are going up everywhere, and I'm not talking just about gas. I'm talking about everything. So, like I said, in America, the average price of a gallon is over $4 a gallon, and it's going to go up more, because Iran is not laying down. They have reported that they have over half of their rocket launchers and missiles still accessible. They have thousands and thousands of these drones, and they will be using them. They will be using them. There is fires going on in the Gulf, and the Gulf countries are trying to figure out a way to deal with Iran. But they are telling Trump, listen, you need to go over there and finish what you started. So Trump says, yeah, more to come, more to come, more to come. But he really has no idea of what he needs to do, because Hegseth does not know what he needs to do. Hegseth was a Fox host. Yeah, he was in the military, but he wasn't really any kind of major person. You know what I'm saying? He was a captain, obviously, but what he did insofar as his MOA or whatever, I'm not sure. But nevertheless, the price of oil is going up and up and up. All right? Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Matthew, for that information. Matthew says that the woman that Noam's husband was chatting up was a non-citizen, and they're steady trying to throw non-citizens out of America, but still, her husband Brian was out there getting it out there with somebody from South America or something like that. So, nevertheless, fuel prices for airline fuel going up. That means airline tickets will cost more. Diesel is going up. That means our farmers, no matter that Trump may have given them, no matter, I'll get to that in a second, Mark. No matter that Trump may have gave them a little bailout, the farmers, it's not going to be enough, because if the farmers want to be able to operate, they have to buy diesel, and that little bit that Trump gave them, it's not going to cover it. It's not going to cover it. So the Iranians have said they are looking to get that price of oil at $200 a barrel. So let me get to this question from Mark. Mark says, please explain why oil is $15 a barrel, gas wasn't. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, 50 per gallon. Look, this is what I'm going to say. Before Trump started this war, oil was at $40 a barrel. And now the price is right around 120 a barrel, or right around that range. So just think of all of the airlines. They need fuel, and fuel is made through the process of refining the oil. So when refineries are hit over there in the Gulf region, then they don't get no jet fuel. That means airlines have less fuel available. And that is why many, many, many airline companies are cutting flights all around the world. All around the world, there are going to be less flights available, and the price for those tickets is going to be even more. So let's get to some other stuff, because there's so much stuff to cover today. Like I said, I talked to you about Hegseth and his disrespect that he showed for the African-American officer that other day. When I saw that video, I practically wanted to smash my TV, man. I mean, it's really disgusting to see this guy disrespect somebody who served in the military proudly, and then has to be served under a guy like this. You know what I'm saying? It just really, I mean, for me, man, I get excited fast, so I would have slapped the shit out of him. Okay, hold on, I got Tim. It's got a comment. U.S. has just handed Iran to get there. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so Trump is now looking for a way out. He's really looking for a way out. Yeah, he already knows it's mission creep. He knows that there's no set goals. He says there's set goals, but in the end, you know what I'm saying, he's looking for a way out. He has told the allies and other countries, hey, just go get your own oil. And, the allies are mad. The allies are looking at this dude really stupid. I have made a post, and I posted that on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram, and also to the Ukrainian government website, because I feel bad as an American that our president is doing shit that is causing so much disruption to all the economies around the world through his actions. And the shit that he pulled in Venezuela, the shit that he's doing in Cuba, the fact that he was threatening Greenland, talking shit to Canada, and just disrespecting the allies completely. This guy is tearing the democracy up in America, and 9 million people came out and protested against this piece of crap. And he really needs to take his thin-skinned ass and take some money and go somewhere. Get him an island somewhere, something. Go buy Jeffrey Epstein's island. But when the files come completely out, or when the information comes out that they cannot deny, then Donald Trump's days are over with. They will imprison him. So he needs to go. But it doesn't matter. If he tries to go somewhere else, the ICC is going to put him in prison because he has committed war crimes, and it is obvious to almost everybody in the world that this dude is, not in his right mind. So maybe he can try a, insane defense, claim insanity. So I already talked about the general, talked about Bondi, but the reason he pushed Bondi out is because of the fact that he or she did not do what he want to do. Wait a second, I got a comment from David. He says, you're delusional. Okay, delusional is mine. Delusional belongs to me. Okay, David, learn how to spell. I'm just going to say, Bondi did not do enough in Trump's mind to prosecute the people who he doesn't like, such as Adam Schiff, James Comey, Letitia James, all these people. He wants them locked up. He wants to create problems for these people because he feels like they created problems for him. They were involved in criminal cases that he was involved in, and yeah, so now he wants some revenge. If Biden had attacked people just because they were disagreeing with him, I mean, how would that have gone? The American public wouldn't have been too happy about it. And see, Donald Trump is the only person really that I have seen as president that has really attacked somebody just for being the opposition, other than Nixon. But that only went for like a short minute because checks and balances. But see, Trump is, arrest Trump. That's right. So Trump is fired most of the inspector generals, the people that pay attention to the checks and balances, right? So that's why he's able to do a lot of the stuff he's done. And it's going to be incumbent of the next president that comes in, Republican or Democrat, to get all of these sycophants that Trump has installed in every government agency. I'm talking about every government agency has been cleaned out of any kind of people that agreed with Joe Biden or Bill Clinton or they're Democrats. And that's why Donald Trump is able to do the shit that he's been doing and been getting away with it. So, and the American people stood up and let him know, not just one time, not just two times, but 3 times, over 7 million people protesting every single time they get out there. They're letting him know that he is the problem. So I think that at this point in time, Trump understands what's going on. And I think he can see what's going to come. So if he's smart, there's only 2 possible ways I see Trump being able to get out of this whole thing without getting beat up too much. And this is it. Donald Trump, if you have put your support behind Ukraine and get Ukraine in a position to where they are pushing Russia out and get a ceasefire and everything done over there, and Ukraine comes out positive, you might improve your image. If you somehow can get Iran to cut off the whole situation, no more drones, no more missile attacks, and somehow get a peace agreement with them. Thank you very much, Mr. Lau Lau. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you can do that, then maybe he can restore a little bit of his image. But he's going to have to change his actions for the future as well, because he's taking advantage of the American taxpayers by spending their money on things that they don't need to be spent on, such as another forever war, something that MAGA definitely did not want. And I'm sorry, Pussyfoot Productions, not too bright at picking out sunglasses, but yeah, okay. Hey, let me just tell you something, Pussyfoot. These glasses are gargoyles. They don't make them anymore, and they were made famous by Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator, and they're my favorite glasses. But I got others. But I got allergy eyes, so I wear them. No disrespect to everybody that watches. It's allergy eyes. I got real bad allergy eyes. So anyway, but the point is, in the Trump administration, the corruption has been out of control. They gave Don Jr. a $670 million contract after he founded a LLC like a week before, and then all of a sudden he gets a $670 million contract. This is corruption out of control. And they made a big old deal of Biden doing some work in Ukraine or whatever years ago. Yeah, okay, that's something they can investigate. Yeah, it might be bad, but what about the Don Jr. $670 million contract? What about the contracts by Corey Lewandowski that were made through the DHS? What about the the conflict of interest of Pam Bondi's brother doing all these pardon cases that Trump is pardoning? He gets $1 million. She gets 500,000. Pardon comes through the door. So, you know, it's too much for me to answer your guys's constant questions about what about this, what about this. Hey, you know what? That was before. That was before. That's all over and done with. We're talking about now. We're talking about Donald Trump putting our nation in danger. We're talking about Donald Trump spending trillions of dollars, putting our nation in so much debt that there's no way that there's going to be any kind of comeuppance in the next 8 years. There's no way. We have a lot of money to be paid. The interest alone is out of control. No, Liz, I did not want Iran to get nukes, and Iran was not going to get any nukes because they had a fatwa by the Ayatollah that said that they were not allowed to create nukes. So they were enriching uranium, yeah, that we know, but he said at that time that it was illegal. A fatwa is something that is concrete, and our president told the American public, what was that, 10 months ago, after they bombed Iran, that everything was totally obliterated. Then he comes back and tells you, America, a month ago, or a month and a half ago, whatever, that if they did not attack Iran, that they were going to have a bomb in 2 weeks. So I'm just saying, it's kind of weird that once it's all obliterated, and then 2 weeks you're going to have a nuclear bomb. So, I mean, the lies just keep on coming. When Donald Trump opens his mouth, it's highly likely that he's lying, or he's telling you a line of bullshit. And if you people haven't understood that yet, then you got problems. You need to seek help. All right? Okay? They were working at, yeah, okay, Liz, whatever you think. You keep on believing everything Trump is saying. But when you go to the gas station, you're paying $10 a gallon, then you'll be pissed off. You will be pissed off. And when you're wanting to fly somewhere to go visit your relatives or go on vacation, and you got to pay twice as much for the ticket that you would have been able to buy a month before for way less, then you will understand. And I'm going to talk about something else that really pissed me off, because Donald Trump made a statement the other day talking about America doesn't have money for for children's, for preschool and all that stuff. All right? Yeah, Liz, the national average, look it up online. The national average is 408. Okay. I just looked it up a little while ago. So if you're being able to get gas at 338, more power to you. But the rest of the world or the rest of the country isn't the same way. But nevertheless, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. Donald Trump does not see any reason that the American government should invest in the children of America, but should instead invest in some wars. He is asking for a extra $200 billion to finance his war in Iran. All right? He's already got more than one ship that's been attacked and you know, some serious issues with the USS Ford and some others also. That's not just the only one. Yeah, now, hey, Corky, they had 2 helicopters to do flybys by Kid Rock's house. Yeah, that's waste and fraud in U.S. government, and that is just one example. Just one example. And another example is the Arc de Triomphe that Trump is trying to build over there in D.C. I mean, he's got millions and billions to throw into projects for nothing. Nobody needed a fucking ballroom, and he didn't ask nobody. He just went and tore it down. I'm saying most Americans, when they saw that, were pissed off. And for you people that are over here coming to Trump's defense, I can't understand how how you are not pissed off about that. Okay, I'm sorry. Liz Newman, she's got a question. Liz Newman's got a question. Why were you calling out Biden like this? Okay, if Biden did some stupid shit, yeah, definitely I called him out. Anything. But see, hey, guess what, Liz? I'm a Republican. I am a Republican. I vote Republican. But like I said before in my earlier podcast, I don't just vote MAGA. I don't vote the party line. I look at the candidates. I check them out. I see where they're getting their money from. If they're getting their money from AIPAC, that's a straight up turnoff for me. If they're getting millions and billions from tech firms or from Elon Musk, I'm looking for the more homegrown people and the people that are down to earth and the people that have values and morals, okay? And the Trump administration doesn't have any values and morals. And it's seen by the stuff that they're backing. When they say we don't have money for children, but yet we can finance a war, start a war. They didn't attack us. And for you people that says, oh, they were gonna attack us, they didn't. I didn't hear any messages from the Iranian government threatening the U.S. No. So, and they were actually having diplomatic conversations at the time when they did. Oh, man, hey Liz, get off the bullshit. You keep on talking about stuff that isn't even important. You're talking about Soros money. What? Oh, come. Okay, so Trump says America doesn't have money for healthcare, but we should be ready to finance wars. So, and with these wars that he's wanting to finance, there's going to be individuals who are going to be hurt, casualties, and they're going to come back and they're going to need some health care. And what's going to happen? Yeah, Liz, who told you that? Liz says they were 21 weeks away from getting a bomb. Hey, really, it's getting out of control. Either you're a criminal, or you're hanging out with criminals, or you're grifting off of Trump some way, because there's no way that you need to take your glasses off and see the truth. I can see perfectly with my glasses on. I can tell you that. So, nevertheless, healthcare is being cut. Child care is being cut. But yet they want $200 billion more for a war. So another forever war, something MAGA said they were against. Most Americans are against another forever war. So, and because of Donald Trump's folly into Iran and Israel backing him and pushing him, because see, Israel and Russia both have information from the Epstein estate. That means videos and all sorts of other stuff. Video possibly of Trump blowing Bubba. I'm just saying. So, and that's why Donald Trump does everything that they want. That's why every time that Putin comes, Trump is throwing out a red carpet because he doesn't want this information to come out. And that's why he's doing everything he can to distract from the Epstein files. But this little distraction in Iran is getting expensive, not just for the US, not just for Iran, but for Americans and everybody around the world. And I think, this is just my personal thought, that every nation that is being affected by this stuff should draft some sort of legal action and sue Trump and Bibi Netanyahu for what they started. So, L. Hanley, you are not a Republican. N Republican? Okay. Mr. Hanley or Mrs. Hanley, learn how to spell and go to English school again. No, I'm not a rhino. I'm just not a sycophant. All right? And one other thing. In 1985, I was doing the modeling shoot, and Donald Trump was on the other side of the restaurant. We were on the Windows of the World restaurant at the World Trade Center. And I asked my manager about this dude. I said, who is that? Who is that over there? I think he was about 35 at the time. I'm not sure. But he had so many people around him. And so I was asking who this dude was. And my manager told me about this guy, who he was, and what he did, and what he was known for. He was known, even at that time, for screwing over small businesses that had done work for him. And he would sue them and sue them and sue them, complaining about the work that they did, or something wasn't right, or this or that. And he would drag them through the courts until they, said, look, we'll settle for less money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he owed them, I don't know, let's say $200,000, and then they'd have to just settle for like $35,000. So that's the kind of dude that is sitting in the Oval Office. How many times has he gone bankrupt? Look at his old casinos. Look at all of the businesses that he's been. The Trump organization's been convicted, dragged through the courts for fraud on many, many levels. Okay, so this is the guy that's sitting in the office of the presidency, and he's the one that's trying to tell you, the Americans, hey, we don't have to fund childcare. The states should fund childcare. They should pay for childcare. That's the guy that we got in office. He wants to fund an illegal war against Venezuela, Cuba, Greenland, Iran. This dude is trying to attack other nations just on GP. So he's setting himself in the eyes of the Russians as, hey, that's our buddy. But everybody else, our allies before, are looking at this dude and saying, hey, he's got some issues. And he does have some issues. He has no values. He has no morals. And these are things that actually we teach our kids when they're young, when they're going to school, you know what I'm saying? Values, morals, honesty, respect, empathy, basic manners, integrity, patience. This is things that we want to teach our kids. If you have kids, you should know that. You want them to be good people, right? So, and who do we have in the office of the president? A thin-skinned baby. Somebody that says, oh, if you call me names, then you need to go. Yeah. Talking here. Look, okay, allergy eyes. They look bad. They look really bad. Sorry, you guys. I'm sorry that I wear glasses, but that's just the way it is. I mean, I know another podcaster, he wears glasses all the time. I can do a program one day. I got more than one pair of glasses. If you guys want, I can go through all my glasses. I got about 9 pairs. There was a time when I had over 90 pairs of glasses, but nevertheless. But I'm just saying, these are the traits that we teach our kids. That's what we want our kids to grow up to be successful, right? And in order to be successful, normally, it's getting a little bit more difficult in today's society with all of the social media and how it's being used to twist our kids into becoming people that maybe not so good. Eddie says, your glasses suck. Okay. Sorry if you don't like them, Eddie. Maybe I'll do a program and we'll go through all my other glasses and you can pick one out, all right? So, nevertheless, it's not any sign of disrespect to anybody. Like I said, I love you guys. Everybody that watches, everybody that communicates with me, I have nothing but love for you. Even if you don't agree with what I'm talking about, it's okay. I would just like to inform you of what I know to be the truth. And if I'm wrong, correct me, yeah, but only if you have facts, okay? Because for you or anybody else to throw the ball back to Kamala or Biden or any other administration, doesn't make any sense. We're talking about today. We're not talking about anything else, okay? So as far as what's going to happen today, the European allies here are trying to get some talks going with Iran to make some sort of a deal that they can bring the situation in control a little bit. So, hold on, I gotta, Hanley, if any contractor didn't do a good job, why shouldn't? Yeah, no, hey, Hanley, that's all something that was taught by Trump through his father. His father taught him that. His father taught him to use lawyers to protect himself and to use lawyers to bring other individuals into line with what they want. Yeah? So if you think being an asshole and screwing over a company just because you're trying to claim that they didn't do something right and not allow them to make it right or whatever, then it's not such a cool thing. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of illegal. That doesn't show any good integrity, and it doesn't show, yeah, right. They're called slap lawsuits. That's right. And as far as I'm concerned, people that do that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, they really need a lesson. And I'm going to tell you something. Donald Trump is going to get his lesson. Like I said, in this situation where we are right now, the Europeans are trying to do something to get the Iranians to somehow quit doing the shit that they're doing. But as far as Iran and how that's going to progress, as far as what is going to happen with the IRGC and the government, that remains to be seen. And I'm looking forward to see how the people of Iran are going to react to their own situation. If the people in Iran stand up and say, hey, we don't want any more religious government, then that's something that they have to do over there. As far as the nuclear fuel or whatever, I'm going to say one thing right now. If I was an American service member and they were trying to send me to go get some nuclear fuel, I wouldn't be into it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to die. You're going to die. This thinking that you could just go over there and pick this shit up and go carry it away and put it away, it ain't happening. It doesn't go down like that. Number one, the U.S. military and the people that are in the military, they're not trained to go deal with some radioactive materials. Nevertheless, if any of this radioactive material is been so broken open or is out, about, you can tell, you already know that shit is radioactive like a mother trucker. So when Donald Trump is sending individuals over there to do something like that, I don't think as a U.S. service member I would be wanting to do that. I think that I would go ahead and make a conscientious objection. And conscientious objection requests have been going up like a mother trucker in the U.S. military. You have soldiers that are saying, hey, you know what? I will fight for America, but this does not seem right to me. And they're telling their commanders. And these numbers are going up and up and up, like the price of gas. So for any of you that have military family members, I myself, my mom and dad served in the military. They were both in the Air Force, served proudly. My dad ended up retiring as a lieutenant colonel. He was a fighter pilot for a number of years and then switched over to cargo. Every single one of my brothers and sisters were all born in a different state or country. That's freaking crazy. I got there's 5 of us, and we're all born in different places. So that just shows you that my family was getting around. So, and my brothers also served. But the individuals, so Scott, yeah, much respect to your grandfather. Grandfather was in Normandy Beach. Yeah, this is something also U.S. veterans, especially older veterans, are looking and talking about Trump like he is stupid as shit. And he is. He never served a day in the military. His sons never served a day in the military. Hashtag draft baron. Because if he's going to go ahead and start a war, then be ready to put your son in the war. So, like I said, we're going to take a look at the situation today. There is a virtual meeting going on right now in England with the Allies, and they're trying to talk to Iran to get them to stop this shit. But for America and for Americans on a whole, we're looked at really stupid now. If you guys don't know, I'm sitting in Rostock, Germany, right? This is where I live. I've got a son who was born here. He's 14 years old. My wife, she's a German woman, and I've been happily married for a while. But I would not be happy if this madness continues, because here in Germany, now they're talking about reinstituting the draft. So that means in 3-4 years that my son would have to serve in the military. Now, really, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I would not have a problem with it, but he would be serving for the German military, although he is a dual citizen. But the fact is that this is all unnecessary. Trump said 8 months ago, their nuclear facilities is totally obliterated. He lied to the American public then. He's lying to the American public now. He does not want to finance any kind of child care in America, but yet he's willing to finance another forever war. All right? He's willing to finance another forever war, and he has caused so much economic and environmental destruction. It's freaking crazy. There are nations that depend on that oil. Oh, come on, man. Come on, it's 40, man. You gotta like them, man. They're better than my eyes. All right? Man. Okay. But nevertheless, I hope that wherever you guys are at, I hope you're safe. I hope your families are safe. I hope you're going to have a good weekend. It's Easter weekend, where we think about Jesus dying on the cross for our sins. I don't understand how Donald Trump, who is only about gold and trying to look good and project this image, when Jesus, the person who he is supposed to be praying to, walked around in rags, who washed the feet of people just on the street, homeless people. I'm saying the Pope, our American Pope, has come out and said that all this stuff that Trump is doing is not necessary. Cranky mullet. All right. Okay. Well, whatever. Thank you very much for your comment. Subscribe doesn't cost anything. All right. So, yeah, it's clear enough. I don't care. But nevertheless, the real one is in the White House. All right. So get over it. And that's not going to last for much longer. I can tell you that, because his health is going downhill, and he is seeing that it's time to cut and run. So I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump ended up saying, you know what, I'm not feeling good. I'm going to hand it over to J.D. Vance and give the whole problem to J.D. Vance, because Trump will claim health issues. And then he'll back all the way out and try to get out the way. That's the possibility. Like I said, the only other two ways that he could help himself would be to help the Ukrainians win the war in their land, and to get this issue with Iran cleared up. That's the only way. So, but his other possibility is is saying, hey, I'm not feeling too good. I'm going to go ahead and give it to J.D. Vance. I'm going to go ahead and resign. That's the only other way. And if he gets the hell out of the way, then after he's out of the way, then he will be going before the ICC. He will be facing legal trouble like he's never known before. And all those billions that he got off of those Bitcoin things, you can forget it. It's going to be all gone soon. So I have been here yammering enough, and think you're the brother of Adam Shelf. All right, thanks a lot. All right, listen, I talked enough today. Like I said, wherever you guys are at, I hope you're safe. I hope your families are safe and healthy. Wish you all a wonderful Easter. Please enjoy it. And like I try to tell everybody every day, please tell your family members that you love them, because you never know when it's going to be your last day or their last day. All right. My mom just turned 90 last year, and I wasn't able to go to America to see her because of Trump and the situation going on over there. So I wish you all a wonderful Easter. Please subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. Give me a thumbs up. Love you. Take care and have a good weekend. All right. And I'll see you again.